Good afternoon. I want to say cool, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday, November the 7th. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And I have not a box, but a slipcase to finish unboxing. And this is the slipcase for Planescape and Adventures in the Multiverse, the update for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition of one of the most demanded settings for the current version of Dungeons & Dragons. Essentially, Planescape was originally published in 1994, and people have been asking for an update for several years now. And finally, we have one in this rather fetching slipcase set with the Mistress of Pain on the front. So inside, you can see we've got 4 books plus a screen. And I've already looked at 2 of the books and the screen. So I'm going to pull the books out. So they want to come out. There we go. Some of them, and then the last book. And I've also got to get them back in, and also this separate sheet. One of my grumbles is with these really nice special editions, they have this separate sheet on the back, and what are you supposed to do with it afterwards? Because you want to keep it complete and nice. But anyway, so I have already looked at Sigil and the Outlands, and that's the setting book. The next book is Mort's Planar Parade. That's the bestiary. And at last we come to the third and final book in this slipcase, and that is Turn of the Fortune's Wheel. And really got some really fantastic artwork on the front here. You know, you've got, like, I think I'm guessing that's a gnome. You have a tiefling there, because I think if I remember rightly, Planescape was the setting that introduced the tiefling, and then of course we've got a modern. And the idea of having a player character modern is just it's a huge one. And then you've got a very helpful floating skull there. I'm wondering whether that's you know, basically the information source that Planescape has, and is mentioned in the bestiary. So we open up, and what a question that, you know, it's called Fortunes of Wheel. We've got sort of like, you know, the wheel shape there, and possible fortune, and credits and page and contents, and it does showcase both covers for the standard edition and the deluxe version. And then we get into beginning of the end, adventure summary, running the adventure, and you know, basic where it's set, its structure, schemes of it in Sigil, out into the Outlands, and onto the Unity of Rings. So you ultimately have that starting point of the city, then the outskirts, the outlying areas of the Outlands, and then beyond, which is the point of the Sigil in part, is you have access to the planes. So we've got options here on character creation, character advancement, because this is, it's designed for third to 10th level characters with then a jump to 17th level, which I admit is a little odd. We have a discussion of glitches, where the Dungeon Master asks is the players and the characters essentially what was the greatest decision or turning point in your character's life? What is something your character wishes they could change about themselves, and so on? What is your character's signature possession or physical trait? To give some kind of sort of tag there, role-playing tag, which will tie into the adventure. Character incarnations and their nexus features and so on. So essentially it's possible to sort of like, you are playing characters in a kind of strange situation there, glitch characters. So characters are going to constantly say glitch and have errors in them. So we begin with part one, schemes and sigil, and the artwork here is of the floating skull mort welcomes some less than dead adventurers to the mortuary. There we go. So that's got to be mort there, all decked out for an expedition with a helm on to protect against any damage. Won't ask how many points of what armor class that gives him. So this starts off in the mortuary in the city, and which ties into the sort of like its Dickensian kind of style setting. We've got a nice map of the of the basement of the mortuary there, done in a style which you will recognise from other Dungeons and Dragons style products. They are very consistent with the look of their maps. The mission does involve corpse retrieval, and once you get into the into the next part, philosophers with clubs, we are going to be dealing with the factions there, and the player characters get a chance to explore sigil, run into planar philosophers and harmonian officers and other NPCs across the city, including going to a Caker tea party. That looks glorious fun, really over the top. And then fortune favours the bold, where this is where they get involved in sort of like in the fortunes and the gambling aspect of the setting. And you have a full map of the casino, very gaudily presented. Again, that's fun. And then we have a duodone slot machine, highlighting how the Planescape setting is quite technical or mechanical in its feel. I mean, that's almost like a modern given a sit-down job, as it were. So you have the Fortune's wheel there in the artwork, and essentially you've got a number of events and so on in the casino, which will build towards the sort of like the climax, and will drive them essentially into the Outlands as an outcome. So you go out into the Outlands, and here we've got a walking castle. The walking castle, Idkaru, endlessly explores the Outlands, and that's great. You absolutely want to get aboard that walking castle, and brilliantly, fantastically, you can. There's a full set of floor plans for the walking castle, and get aboard and explore. That's terrific. So we have basically encounter with basically a Githzerai there, viewing scrying the waters, a missing Modron to hunt for, encountering more automata. The artwork in here is really great. I mean, all right, it is not as idiosyncratic as perhaps Tony Tisley's original artwork for Planescape, but it's still really very good. We have an inverse hideout, so that artwork points to the inverse hideout, and we have commentary throughout from Mort as well. That adds a nice touch, for a bit of colour and flavour for the benefit of the Dungeon Master. She can bring that in, and then onto Crust, and exploring that. They will have to escape that, but there's the Crust escape map, and then out to Excelsior, and encounter some lost souls. Infernal, Vicious Alliances. So these are quite short, sort of like chapters. Here at the Vile Hunt camp, where you'll play through this, and probably one of these, or perhaps in one, or maybe a couple of them in, basically a couple of sessions or so. and they travel aboard the courier. And before reaching Regis, Eternity's ramparts. At Finder Gate to Acheron. Encounter Sylvania Titan on the town, and she looks like she's having a glorious time. Further Outlands exploration. They'll also discover secrets of the Spire. And then onto part 3, Behind the Wheel, and this is where they go out discovering secret realities. They return to Sigil and explore further. A very gaudily, map that links up, essentially go back to that casino and discover its further secrets. And so absolutely, I think there's some great art in here. There's a delusion. Encounter the Tyrant Spiral. And the distorted beliefs of the Hexton Modron Exo-1 and its wayward followers manifest as a godlike incarnation of a non-existent realm. So yeah, that is the Fortune's Wheel, a campaign for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, published as part of the Planescape slipcase. Just put those back in. There we go. So yeah, it's a really nice package overall, I think, and absolutely, looking forward to giving this a read through and review. Probably not to, probably sometime in 2024, because of course Planescape itself is 30 years old in 2024. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a nice hot cup of tea, and typically a box or package which I will unbox and chat about the contents to the best of my ability for roughly 10 minutes or so, accompanied of course by that nice hot cup of tea. Typically a book or game, in this case I've unboxed a slipcase. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.